The hairstyle that ages a woman fastest is usually not gray hair. It is not short hair. It is not long hair. It is not even wrinkles around the eyes, softness under the chin, or a few silver strands catching the light. The hairstyle mistake that can quietly add 10 visual years is this: shape that has stopped moving with you, a hairstyle that sits on the head like a memory. A style that may have looked polished 20 years ago, but now feels too flat on top, too heavy at the sides, too stiff around the face, too dark near the skin, or too severe at the ends. And the painful part is that the woman wearing it may be doing everything else right. She may have a beautiful blouse on. She may have chosen a soft lipstick. She may have earrings that brighten her face. She may have taken care with her posture, her shoes, her handbag, her fragrance, her nails. But then she looks in the mirror and something still feels heavier than it should. She cannot quite name it. The outfit is not wrong. The makeup is certainly not wrong, but the hair is not helping her anymore. Imagine a woman named Linda. She is 67. She is meeting two friends for lunch after church. She puts on a cream knit jacket, dark straight leg pants, gold earrings, and a soft rose lipstick. She looks polished from the shoulders down, but her hair is cut in the same rounded shape she has worn since her early 50s. It is sprayed into place. The top is flat, the sides puff out slightly near the ears, and the ends curl under in a hard little line at her jaw. When she looks straight ahead, the eye stops at the widest part of her hairstyle. Then it drops to the jaw, then it notices the neck, then it notices the lower face. The hairstyle has become a frame that points to everything she would rather soften. Now picture the same Linda with almost the same length, almost the same color, and no dramatic makeover. The top has a little lift. The side volume is reduced. The ends are lighter and less tucked under. A few face framing pieces open the cheekbone area. The finish is touchable instead of stiff. Her hair still looks neat. She still looks like herself. But suddenly her face looks more open, her neck looks less crowded, her outfit looks more current, and her whole presence feels lighter. That is the power of shape. Not youth, not pretending, not chasing a 25-year-old version of beauty, just removing the heaviness that was making her look tired before anyone even noticed her smile. The biggest hairstyle mistake for women over 60 is not choosing the wrong age-appropriate haircut. It is keeping a hairstyle that collapses the face instead of lifting it, boxes in the features instead of framing them, and freezes the woman an older version of herself. Hair is not just hair. It changes the face line. It changes the neckline. It changes how jewelry looks. It changes whether glasses feel stylish or severe. It changes whether a blouse looks fresh or matronly. It even changes the way color reflects onto mature skin. And because hair sits so close to the visible, a jacket can be taken off. A shoe can be swapped. A scarf can be adjusted. But hair is the frame people see first. This is why a hairstyle can make a mature woman look fresher, softer, and more polished without changing her age at all. And before we go further, let's say something important. Gray hair is not the enemy. Thin hair is not a failure. Fine hair is not shameful. A receding, shedding, or changing texture can have many causes. And dermatology sources note that some daily shedding is normal, while noticeable thinning, bald spots, or sudden changes deserve attention from a qualified professional. Tight hairstyles worn repeatedly can also contribute to traction-related hair loss. So comfort and scalp health matter just as much as beauty. 美国皮肤科学会, the goal is not to erase age. The goal is to stop using hairstyle habits that add visual fatigue. The first sign that your hairstyle may be aging you is when your hair has become too solid. A solid hairstyle has no air in it, no softness, no small breaks in the line, no natural movement. It may be a blunt bob that sits like a helmet. It may be a shortcut that is sprayed so firmly that every strand looks controlled. It may be long hair that hangs in one heavy curtain on both sides of the face. It may be thick gray hair cut into a rounded shape that expands at the sides. It may be fine hair cut into a single length that falls flat at the crown and separates at the ends. The problem is not the length. The problem is the block. When hair forms one solid block around a mature face, it can make the face look heavier. The eye does not travel gently. It hits a wall. If the hair is flat on top and wide at the sides, the face can look pulled downward. The cheek area loses lift. The jawline looks more prominent. The neck looks shorter. Earrings can look disappear. Even a lovely neckline can feel crowded. This is especially common with the old-fashioned rounded bob. You know the shape. It is smooth, neat, curled under, and often cut somewhere between the chin and the neck. In the past, it may have looked proper and controlled. But on many mature women today, especially if the hair has lost density at the crown, that rounded under curl can create a visual triangle in the wrong direction. Flat top, wider sides, tucked under ends. Instead of opening the face, it presses everything inward. A better version is not necessarily a trendy haircut. It may still be a bob. It may still be classic. But it needs movement. A soft bob that sits around the jawline or slightly below can be beautiful when it has gentle texture, a little lift at the roots, and ends that do not form a hard shelf. Current stylist guidance for mature hair often emphasizes movement, shape, face framing, and fullness rather than stiff lines, with jaw-to-shoulder lengths and soft layers. Frequently recommended because they can help hair appear fuller and easier to manage. Ho what wear Harper's Bazaar. That does not mean every woman needs layers. Bad layers can be worse than no layers. Over-thin layers can make fine hair look stringy. Choppy layers around the face can make gray hair look wiry if the texture is not handled well. But carefully placed softness can change everything. The eye needs somewhere to move, a little height at the crown, a little softness near the cheekbone, a little openness around the temple, a little bend through the ends. These are not dramatic changes. They are small changes with a big difference. If you have fine hair, ask yourself, does my current style make my hair look fuller, or does it expose where the density has changed? Fine hair often gets punished by the wrong haircut. Some women keep it long because they are afraid short hair will make them look old. Others cut it very short because they have been told that women over 60 should not have length. Neither rule is fair. Fine hair needs the right perimeter. If it is too long and too one length, it may pull downward and separate into thin pieces, especially around the shoulders. When that happens, the ends look tired even if the hair is clean. The face looks drawn because the hair is dragging the eye down. A long center part with flat roots can create a vertical line that emphasizes thinning at the part and shadows around the face. But if fine hair is cut too short without shape, it can cling to the scalp and make the head look smaller, which can make the face and neck look heavier by comparison. The answer is balance. For many women with fine or thinning hair, a collarbone cut, a soft chin-to-shoulder bob, or a textured pixie with crown lift can be more flattering than either very long flat hair or a hard round helmet. The key is not simply cutting it shorter. The key is creating fullness where the eye needs lift and clean ends where the hair needs strength. Think of your hair like a picture frame. If the frame is too thin and weak, the picture loses presence. If the frame is too bulky and dark, it overwhelms the picture. The most flattering frame supports the face without taking over. For fine hair, this often means keeping the ends looking healthy and intentional. A bluntish edge can be helpful, but not a severe block. Softness can be added around the face without shredding the entire haircut. Root lift can be created with a lightweight mousse or spray, but heavy oils and thick creams may collapse the shape. And if hair loss is sudden, patchy, itchy, painful, or emotionally distressing, that is not a styling problem to solve alone. A dermatologist or a qualified health professional can help identify what is happening. If you have thick hair, your mistake may be the opposite. Thick hair can become heavy, triangular, and aging when it is cut into one dense mass. This happens often with naturally gray or silver hair because gray texture can sometimes feel coarser, drier, or more resistant to smooth styling. A woman may think, I have plenty of hair, so I don't need shape. But thick hair without shape can become a curtain. It can hide the neck. It can widen the face. It can make the shoulders look broader. It can make petite women look overwhelmed. It can make a beautiful outfit look less refined because the hair is taking up too much visual space. For thick hair, the goal is not to remove all the volume. Volume is wonderful. Presence is wonderful. The goal is to place the volume where it flatters you. A little lift at the top is usually flattering. Too much width at the ear level is often not. Soft movement around the cheekbones can brighten the face. A heavy shelf at the jaw can pull attention to jowls or neck softness. If you have thick hair and a fuller face, be careful with a chin-length cut that ends exactly at the widest part of the jaw. It may not be wrong, but it needs softness, angle, or movement. If you have a longer face, a little side movement can be beautiful. If you are petite, you may need less bulk around the shoulders so your hair does not wear you. This is why the same haircut can look stunning on one woman and heavy on another. Hair is not about age alone. It is about face shape, neck length, shoulder width, hair density, texture, glasses, lifestyle, and personal taste. A woman with a strong jaw may look incredible in a soft pixie with longer fringe. A woman with a delicate chin may prefer a layered bob. A woman with curls may need a dry cut from someone who understands shrinkage and curl pattern. A woman with thinning at the crown may need a cut that does not rely on a sharp part. A woman who wears glasses every day may need hair that leaves room around the temples so the face does not look crowded. This brings us to one of the most aging habits, the severe part. A hard center part can look chic on some women, especially with dense hair, strong bone structure, and a modern shape. But on many mature faces, a very straight, flat center part can draw the eye directly down the middle of the face. It can emphasize thinning along the part line. It can make the roots look flatter. It can create a stern feeling, especially when paired with dark color, sharp glasses, or a high neckline. The better option is often a softened part, not an exaggerated side swoop from another decade. Not a stiff comb over, just a part that is slightly off-center, slightly broken, or gently lifted at the roots. This tiny change can soften forehead lines, reduce the focus on thinning at the part, and give the face a more relaxed frame. It is one of the easiest small change, big difference moments because it does not require a new haircut. You can try it tomorrow morning. Move the part just half an inch. Lift the roots with your fingers while drying. Let one side fall softly rather than perfectly. Then put on your earrings and lipstick and look again. The face often looks less strict. The next mistake is confusing neat with stiff. This is very common for women who are raised to believe that polished hair should not move. For decades, a finished hairstyle meant every hair in place, a weekly salon set, a round brush shape, spray, control, smoothness, no surprises. There is nothing wrong with wanting to look groomed. In fact, grooming is one of the most powerful style tools for mature women. Clean hair, healthy shine, trimmed ends, fresh color, or beautifully maintained gray, shaped brows, cared for nails, and polished shoes can make even simple clothes look intentional. But stiffness is different from grooming. Stiff hair can age the whole face because it removes vitality. It looks frozen. And when hair is frozen, the woman can look frozen too. Touchable hair looks more modern, not messy, not careless, not like you just rolled out of bed. Touchable means the hair has some life. A soft bend instead of a hard curl, a little separation instead of a sprayed shell, a fringe that moves instead of a bang that sits like a visor, a pixie with texture at the crown instead of spikes sprayed into place. A bob with swing. If your hair does not move when you turn your head, your style may be working too hard. That does not mean you have to give up hairspray. Some women need hold, especially in humid weather, windy climates, or with fine hair that collapses quickly. But use hold to support shape, not to freeze it. Spray from farther away. Choose flexible hold when possible. Break up the shape gently with your fingers after styling. Let the ends breathe. A very practical test is this. If your hairstyle looks exactly the same at 8 p.m. as it did at 8 a.m., but in a hard lacquered way, it may be too stiff. If it still has shape but looks like real hair, you are closer. The next mistake is keeping a hair color that is too harsh for the face you have now. This is delicate because color is personal. Some women look magnificent with deep brunette hair after 60. Some look powerful with snowy white. Some look radiant with silver. Some look softer with beige blonde, caramel, warm brown, champagne pewter, or dimensional gray. There is no universal rule. The mistake is not dark hair. The mistake is a flat, harsh color that no longer harmonizes with the skin, brows, and wardrobe. As skin changes with age, contrast can shift. A color that once made your eyes around the mouth or make the skin look tired. A very dark, solid color can make the scalp contrast more visible if the hair is thinning. It can also make regrowth more obvious. On the other hand, especially if their skin needs warmth, gray hair is not aging by itself. Neglected gray can be aging. Dry, yellow, dull gray can make the complexion look flat. But healthy, shiny, well-shaped gray can look refined, artistic, modern, and very feminine. The question is not, should I cover my gray? The better question is, does my hair color make my face look alive? Does it brighten your eyes? Does it work with your lipstick? Does it make your clothes look better? Does it soften the transition between your hair, skin, and brows? Does it look intentional? A woman with silver hair may need a clearer lipstick or a stronger brow so her face does not disappear. A woman with warm brown hair may need softness around the face so the color does not feel heavy. A woman growing out gray may need lowlights, highlights, a gloss, or a transitional cut, so the process looks chosen rather than abandoned. This is where many mature women get stuck emotionally. They think the choice is either fight gray forever or give up completely. There is a beautiful middle ground. Maintain your gray, blend your gray, soften your color, add dimension, brighten the ends, or adjust the tone so your hair supports your face. The next aging mistake is bangs that are too heavy, too short, or too dated. Bangs can be wonderful over 60. They can soft attention to the eyes, balance glasses, and make a haircut feel more current, but the wrong bangs can close the face. A thick, blunt bang cut straight across the forehead can look severe if the rest of the hair is also heavy. A very short, rounded bang can feel childish or dated if it does not match your style. A stiff curled bang can immediately take the viewer back to an older decade. And bangs that are too thin and separated can look accidental, especially if the hair is fine. The most flattering bangs for mature women are often softer. Wispy but not weak, sideswept but not old-fashioned, curtain-like but not droopy, or blended into face-framing layers. The key is where the bang sends the eye. If the bang stops in a hard line above the brows, the eye stops there. If it opens slightly near the cheekbone, the eye travels outward and upward. If it blends into the sides, it can soften the temples and frame glasses beautifully. If you wear glasses, take them to the salon. This matters. Hair that looks pretty without glasses can become crowded once frames are added. Heavy bangs plus heavy glasses plus dark hair can create a block across the upper face. But soft fringe with a little space around the temples can make glasses look intentional and stylish. Do not let a stylist cut bangs as if your glasses do not exist. Your glasses are part of your face. Your hair should work with them. Another mistake is ignoring the neckline. A hairstyle does not end at the hair. It connects to the neck, collar, earrings, and shoulders. This is why a haircut that looks fine in a salon cape can feel wrong once you put on real clothes. If your hair ends exactly where your neck has softened, it may point to that area. If your bob curls under tightly at the jaw, it may make the lower face look heavier. If your hair sits wide over a turtleneck, it may make the neck disappear. If your long hair falls over your shoulders while you are wearing a patterned blouse, everything can look busy near the face. A flattering hairstyle creates breathing room. If you love higher necklines, you may need a cut that lifts away from the collar or has cleaner ends. If you love statement earrings, you may need hair that reveals them instead of swallowing them. If you have a shorter neck, too much volume at the nape can make you look compressed. If you have a long neck, a soft bob or collarbone cut can be graceful. This is also why the same hairstyle can look different with different outfits. A soft pixie with a white shirt and gold hoops can look fresh and confident. The same pixie with no earrings, faded lipstick, and a shapeless fleece may look unfinished. A silver bob with a navy blazer can look expensive. The same bob with a faded gray t-shirt may look dull. Hair is part of the outfit. It cannot do all the work alone, but it can make everything else easier. The next mistake is choosing a haircut for the fantasy life instead of the real life. This happens all the time. A woman brings a photo to the salon. The celebrity in the photo has thick hair, a professional blowout, studio lighting extensions, and a stylist standing nearby. The cut looks efforts for it. For 3 days, she loves it. Then she washes it at home, lets it air dry, and suddenly the shape is gone. The mistake was not wanting beauty. The mistake was choosing maintenance that does not match daily reality. A good mature hairstyle should respect your life. If you travel often, you need a shape that survives hotel shampoo and quick styling. If you take care of grandchildren, you may need hair that can be pulled back softly without causing tension. If you attend church or social lunches, you may want a style that looks polished with earrings and lipstick. If you have arthritis in your hands or shoulder pain, you may need a cut that does not require 40 minutes with a round brush. If you live in a humid climate, you may need a style that works with texture instead of fighting it every morning. If you have wide glasses frames, hearing aids, or sensitive scalp, the cut should take that into account. The best hairstyle is not the one that looks perfect, only when someone else styles it. The best hairstyle is the one that helps you look like yourself on an ordinary Tuesday. This is where the contrarian idea comes in. The most youthful looking hairstyle is not always the most trendy one. A woman over 60 does not need to chase every current haircut. She does not need the latest celebrity bob, the newest fringe name. Sometimes the most refreshing change is simply making an old favorite lighter Softer, cleaner, and more intentional. Keep the bob, but remove the helmet. Keep the length, but strengthen the ends. Keep the gray, but add shine. Keep the pixie, but soften the edges. Keep the curls, but shape them so they lift the face. Keep the bangs, but make them breathe. That is how a mature woman looks current without looking like she is trying too hard. Now let's correct a few misunderstandings that quietly keep women stuck. Long hair is aging after 60. Not automatically. Long hair can be beautiful on mature women when it has health, shape, movement, and enough density at the ends. Long silver wave can be stunning. A shoulder skimming cut can be feminine and graceful. A collarbone length can soften the neckline and work beautifully with blouses, cardigans, and dresses. What often ages long hair is not the length itself. It is flat roots, dry ends, no shape around the face, a severe part, or hair that hangs like two curtains. If you love long hair, you do not have to surrender it. But you may need long layers, face framing, a softer part, more shine, or a style that lifts at the crown. The second misunderstanding is short hair always makes you look younger. Not always. Short hair can look chic, modern, and confident. But if it is too severe, too masculine for your personal style, too flat to the head, or cut without softness around the face, it can make some women feel exposed. A pixie needs shape. It needs intention. The edges matter. The sideburn area matters. The neckline matters. A short cut that is tailored can look incredible. A short cut that is simply practical may look unfinished. There is a difference. The third misunderstanding is volume is always good. Volume is only flattering when it is in the right place. Lift at the crown can open the face. Soft fullness around the cheekbones can look pretty. But width at the ears can make the face look wider. Puffiness at the sides can make the jaw look heavier. Teased height without softness can feel dated. Too much volume on a petite woman can overwhelm her body. Think lift, not puff. Think movement, not bulk. The fourth misunderstanding is gray hair must be covered to look polished. No, gray hair can be one of the most beautiful features a mature woman has, but it needs care. It needs a good cut. It needs shine. It may need toning if it yellows. It may need stronger clothing colors or a brighter lipstick. It may need a little brow definition so the face has structure. Gray hair is not the mistake. Unshaped, dull, dry, neglected hair is the mistake. The fifth misunderstanding knows what I need. A good stylist is valuable, but you still need to communicate. Some stylists keep giving the same cut because they think you like it. Some are afraid to suggest change. Some are skilled with color, but not with mature hair texture. Some cut wet hair beautifully, but do not account for curls, thinning, cowlicks, glasses, or your real routine. You are allowed to say, I want to look softer around the face. You are allowed to say, I need more lift at the crown, but less width at the sides. You are allowed to say, please do not thin my ends too much. You are allowed to say, I wear glasses every day, so I need the front shaped with my frames on. You are allowed to say, I want my gray to look intentional, not dull. You are allowed to say, I only have 10 minutes to style my hair. Those are not complaints. Those are useful instructions. Before your next salon appointment, do one simple thing. Take 3 the front, 1 from the side, and 1 from the back. Not filtered, not posed. Just honest. Look at where the eye stops. Does the top look flat? Do the sides look too wide? Do the ends look thin? Does the color look harsh against your skin? Does the style hide your earrings? Does the hair crowd your glasses? Does the shape stop at the heaviest part of your face? Does the back look neglected even though the front looks styled? That back view matters. A woman can look polished from the front and dated from behind if the nape is too heavy, the layers are grown out, or the color line is obvious. A mature hairstyle should look intentional from every angle. Not perfect. Now let's talk about the before and after transformation in practical terms. Before, the hair is flat at the crown, wide at the sides, stiff at the ends, and colored in one solid block. The face looks a little tired, the jaw looks heavier, the neck looks shorter, the outfit looks more conservative than it really is. The woman may feel like she needs more makeup, bigger earrings, or brighter clothes to compensate. After the crown has gentle lift, the sides are closer or softer, the ends move. The color has dimension or shine. The face framing pieces bring attention toward the eyes and cheekbones. The neckline opens, earrings show, lipstick looks prettier, glasses look more stylish. The same blouse now looks more expensive because the frame around the face is cleaner. That is why hairstyle matters so much. It changes the entire outfit without buying a new wardrobe. Here is a practical way to think about your options. If your hair is fine and straight, avoid letting it become too long, too flat, and too transparent at the ends. Consider a softly blunt bob, a collarbone cut, or a short textured shape with lift. Keep products light. Heavy conditioners near the roots can collapse the hair. Use shine on the ends, not grease at the scalp. If your hair is thick and straight, avoid the heavy triangle. You may need internal weight removal, but not shredded ends. Ask for movement that removes bulk where it expands while keeping the outline polished. If your hair is wavy, do not fight every wave into submission. A little natural movement can make you look softer and more current. The cut should encourage the wave instead of creating random bumps. Layers can help, but they must be placed carefully. If your hair is curly, avoid copying a straight hair haircut. Curly hair needs its own architecture. A curly cut that opens the face and controls width can be stunning over 60. But over-thinning curly hair can create frizz and uneven volume, so choose a stylist who respects curl pattern. If your hair is gray or silver, focus on shape, shine, and wardrobe harmony. Silver hair often looks gorgeous with navy, ivory, charcoal, soft pink, berry, emerald, denim, camel if it suits your undertone, and clean white if the hair is bright enough. But dull gray next to faded beige or washed out pastels can make the whole face look tired. Sometimes the hair is not the problem, the colors around it are. If you wear glasses, your hairstyle should leave enough visual space. Heavy bangs, heavy frames, and heavy side volume can crowd the face. A lifted crown, soft fringe, clean sides, if you have a visible earrings, can balance the frames. And you rely on tunics, cardigans, or soft jackets, your hair matters even more. A heavy hairstyle plus a long loose top can make the whole bodyline look boxy. A lighter haircut can bring the eye upward, which helps the outfit feel more intentional. Hair cannot change your body, but it can change the visual balance. If you are petite, be careful with hair that is too long and too bulky. It can shorten the body. A clean bob, soft pixie, or collarbone length may help your proportions look taller and lighter. If you are plus size, do not assume you must keep big hair for balance. Sometimes too much width around the face adds heaviness. You may look more refined with lift at the crown, softness near the face, and controlled sides. If you have a soft jawline or neck concerns, avoid any cut that forms a hard arrow pointing directly at that area. A severe chin length line, a tucked under bob, or ends that flip exactly at the jaw can draw attention there. Softer face framing, a slightly longer length, or a cut that opens around the cheekbone may be kinder. One of the easiest changes you can make this week is to soften the finish. If you curl your hair, brush or finger comb the curls so they do not sit in separate stiff tubes. If you blow dry your bob, rather than curling them tightly under. If you wear a pixie, add texture at the crown and polish the edges around the ears. If you pull your hair back, loosen the front slightly and avoid tight tension day after day. Tight buns, ponytails, braids, extensions, or styles that repeatedly pull on the scalp can contribute to traction problems for some people. So comfort is not just a style issue. 美国皮肤科学会, if you part your hair in the same place every day, try shifting it gently. If your gray looks dull, consider a gloss, a purple-toned product used carefully, or a salon consultation for brightness. If your dark color feels harsh, ask about softening the tone around the face rather than changing everything at once. If your hair looks dry, reduce heat when you can and use products suited to your texture. And if you are losing much more hair than usually, seeing bald patches, noticing scalp irritation, or feeling worried, do not let anyone dismiss it as just age. Hair loss in women can have different causes, and getting the right diagnosis matters. Cleveland Clinic Now. Here is the checklist I would love every woman over 60 to use before deciding whether her hairstyle is helping or hurting. First, does your hairstyle lift the eye upward, or does it pull attention down to the jaw and neck? Second, is there softness around your face, or is your hair forming a hard frame? Third, does the crown have some life, or is it flat while the sides are wide? Fourth, do the ends look healthy and intentional, or thin, dry, and tired? Fifth, does your color harmonize with your skin, brows, lipstick, and wardrobe, or does it feel too harsh, too dull, or too flat? Sixth, can your hairstyle move, or is it frozen in place? Seventh, does it work with your glasses, earrings, necklines, and everyday clothes? Eighth, does it match your real routine, or only the version of you who has unlimited time and professional styling every morning? Ninth, when you look at yourself from the side and back, does the shape still look current? And finally, does your hair make you feel like yourself now, or like you are maintaining a version of yourself from a decade ago? That last question may be the most important because the goal is not to chase youth. The goal is to come back into focus. A woman can have lines around her eyes and still look radiant. She can have silver hair and look polished. She can have fine hair, comfortable shoes, elastic waist pants, reading glasses, soft cardigans, and still look beautifully modern when the proportions are right. What ages a woman is not age itself. It is visual heaviness. It is stiffness. It is neglect. It is a shape that no longer supports her face. It is a color that no longer speaks to her skin. It is a style that stopped evolving while she kept growing. So before you blame your blouse, your lipstick, your neck, your arms, your waist, or your age, look at the frame closest to your face. Maybe you do not need a dramatic reinvention. Maybe you do not need to cut it all off. Maybe you do not need to cover every gray hair. Maybe you simply need a little lift at the crown, a softer part, cleaner ends, less width at the sides, a brighter finish, and a shape that lets your face breathe. That is the kind of change people notice without knowing exactly what changed. They may say, "You look rested." They may say, "That color looks beautiful on